always love having you on the show. Welcome back and congrats on your Broadway debut.
Thank you. I'm having the literal time of my life. It is such an amazing experience. You're about to make your Broadway debut, right?
Well, I am doing a thing, but not, no, I know, but no. I just...
He's being very humble, isn't he?
No. Give me some tips. Is there any superstitions or anything I have to do before I do? Ooh.
You cannot say the M-A-C-B-E-T-H word.
Okay.
You know what was
Ever?
Really? Ever.
You can't say...
Don't say it. We're in a theater, technically. Ish. When I walked into the dressing room for the first time in the theater, there were pennies all over, and I thought that was such a beautiful tradition. Whoever was in it before left it as like a good luck token. I thought that was so sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. It's such a...
I never heard that.
The other thing that happened on the first day of being in the theater is, so I got off the train on 50th Street, and the first thing I saw in Times Square was the big Krispy Kreme donut store, and I thought, oh, that'd be a nice thing to, you know, get some people some donuts.
Super cool.
I heard a couple people out there, you like donuts, it's nice over there.
Yeah.
And so I brought them in. This was a couple months ago. And a few weeks ago, I overheard two castmates talking. And I overheard one of them say, like, I heard you had a great date last night. Like, where are the donuts? And I was like, donuts? Why would he bring donuts? And that was the moment that I learned about the Broadway tradition, that if you bring donuts to the theater, it means you got laid the night before. Yeah.
Really?
So then I realized on my first day of being in the theater, I didn't know anyone, and I basically like walked in saying, hi, everyone, nice to meet you, happy day one. I had sex last night. A lot of it, 8 dozen worth.
8 dozen donuts worth of sex last night, yeah. Woo!
Yeah. No, but it's such a beautiful, supportive, loving community. Like
It is, right?
It really is. Like on opening night, and also very organized. On opening night for every Broadway show, all the other Broadway shows write like letters of congrats and good luck, and they post them on the wall. And it made me realize, wow, Broadway is like the complete opposite of Hollywood.
Very supportive of each other.
So loving and supportive.
Yeah. I saw you brought me a picture of Jim. You're in the. I always said the cast is great. Katie Holmes, Jim Parsons. We love both those. Jim Parsons' dressing room. This is his door, and just explain what's happening on his dressing room door.
Yeah, what's not happening on his dressing room door? So, someone in our cast found all of our first headshots. So that's Jim's first headshot. That's where he looks so cute.
Yeah.
There's a very sexy fan mail from Katie, and then this is someone trying to blackmail me.
I like those lasers behind you.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's really cool, absolutely. But backstage, by the way, you were telling me this is like one of your dream roles to do Our Town, and almost like you manifested this.
And for a little context, if you haven't read Our Town, I don't know if you have.
No.
It is the most beautiful, profound, life-affirming show about love and community and appreciating your life while you have it. And I've been really inspired by the play for my whole life, and I've wanted to do it my whole life. So I don't know if this is like manifesting or if it's delusional thinking.
Yeah.
But
either way.
Either way.
Okay.
Whatever, however you want to
Yeah,
spin it.
someone's on Broadway, that's all I'm saying.
Yes, I manifested with my crystals.
I manifested, yes, but yeah.
I got a place in New York 2 years ago, just thinking one day maybe they'll do Our Town and I can be in it. And I told my agent this, and I thought he would say I was insane. And instead he said, this is so crazy. Last night I had a conversation for the first time about Our Town being done on Broadway in 20 years, and I thought that was a really wild sign from the universe.
Yes.
Yeah, and then 8 months later, I was working in Dublin, and I got an email from him saying, all right, I convinced Kenny Leon, who's the director of Our Town, to meet with you. And I was so excited, I like practically threw my phone across the room. And my co-star, who knew nothing about me dreaming of playing Emily Webb in Our Town on Broadway, looked at me and she said, what are you so excited about, Emily? And I was like so confused. I said, why did you call me Emily? And she was like, I don't know. You looked like an Emily to me. So, McKenna Grace. She's
what?
A witch. That girl's a witch. I know.
That really happened?
It really happened.
And you go, that's the oddest thing. I'm up for this part. I really want to get this.
Yes, and now I get to do it 8 times a week. And I feel like the luckiest person in the world.
What I'm talking about. At the Barrymore Theater.
At the Barrymore Theater. And if you're in New York and you haven't seen it, it really is. It's like 27 of the most extraordinary people and artists, and it is Our Town for our time. So I'm just, come see us at the Barrymore.
Congratulations to you. Well deserved.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're also, I want to talk about, you're in the new Clint Eastwood movie, Juror Number 2.
Yeah.
You're getting great reviews for this. What is it like to be on the set of a Clint Eastwood film?
Oh my gosh, he's a legend.
No, of course he is.
He is a legend, and I just love him. And he's really, really funny, too. There are these, I feel like before I did the film, there were these, there's a lot of lore about the way he works. There's these like Clint-isms, is how it was said to me. One of them is, very short shooting days. And that's because he's just like so focused, and he knows, and he's worked with the same people for 40 plus years.
He knows what he wants.
Yeah, and 2, there's like 1 take, because he knows what he wants. And 3, there's no action. And there's no cut. And yeah, I know. It's,
what do you mean?
Yeah, there's no like, start acting, stop acting. Which
you have to just walk in the scene just saying your lines? Cameras are rolling?
Yeah, so when you step onto the set, you're sort of living the movie. And I think he does that because he just trusts his actors to be in the moment. And we had this kind of montage scene where my character is giving birth. And
I have a photo of you and
me and my. There I am.
Nicholas Hoult.
And it was a real hospital, and it was a real Nicholas Hoult, and it was a real doctor playing the doctor, and then they brought in, I didn't know we were filming because they didn't say action and they didn't say cut, they brought in a real newborn baby. It was unbelievable. It was really, honestly, so profound and shocking, and
Not like a doll, or?
Not the prop from American Sniper.
Yeah, I remember that. That was, yeah.
Maybe
Oops.
I'd get that one. And it was, I just like entered a different dimension. It was so beautiful, honestly. I started hysterically sobbing. It did not make the movie, to be clear. The editor was like, I think she's taken it a little too far.
No.
Like, Nick Hoult, you're the father of my child.
No, you are getting great
I love you so
reviews.
much.
You're getting great reviews. Do you get nervous when you're around Clint Eastwood? Because I feel like you're just going to snap and get out of here. I replaced you with a different actor, yeah.
No, he's so nice. He's so
right?
lovely. And I probably wouldn't have got the job if I had to audition for him or meet him. I did an audition for a movie of his, a different movie of his, like 7 years ago, and I didn't get the job. And he remembered me from that. And so, yeah, I know.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I had to stop talking about self-tapes that I think go into the abyss.
No.
Yeah, and apparently you can do a job interview and get the job 7 years later.
That's what I'm talking about, see? Don't give up!
Don't give up!
Juror Number 2 is in theaters now. Congratulations on the movie and your Broadway debut. Zoe Deutsch, Our Town is now playing at the Barrymore Theater. Gwen Stefani is performing for us after the break. Stick around, everybody!
Hey.